So I'm making this video if you're struggling to clear Ura Finale. You've just started the game, you don't really know what is going on, you don't know what things do, and that's fine. Lots of people started here. I'm here to tell you that Ura Finale is not actually that difficult to clear, it's just you're not building your Umas correctly. And that's no one's fault. If anything, it's the game's fault because it doesn't explain a lot of its mechanics very well. So, in this video, I'm going to show you some things that you can do to improve your runs, hopefully explain how some things work, and just make things a lot clearer for you so that you can clear the Ura Finale. So, step one of clearing the Ura Finale is actually knowing which Uma you're running. So, usually what kills Ura Finale runs, at least in my experience, are long races. Long races can creep up on you. You won't have enough stamina if you haven't been focusing on it. And they can kill your run. And you just cannot clear it. So we'll go over to Mayano Top Gun because she has some medium and some long races in her thing. And we'll look at her career info. So this career info tells you every single race that you need to do and when it occurs. So, for example, Arima Keenan is a long race, and you need to place top 3. So, by classic year, late December, you need to have a certain threshold of stamina so that you're ready to run Arima Keenan. Tenno Sho Spring, this one right here, is usually a run killer if you're not prepared for it because it is among the longest races in the game at 3,200 meters. And if you don't have, give or take, about 600 stamina, you're probably going to lose. And in this case, you only need to take top 3 for Tenno Sho Spring, but that can still be difficult if you don't prepare. So, as you can see, this is her entire races. We have Arima Keenan twice, Tenno Sho Autumn, which is a medium race, Tarazuka Keenan is another medium race. So, usually what kills the run, though, for Mayano Top Gun and other people who have to do it, is this Tenno Sho Spring. So, in order to mitigate that, we're going to prepare. So, let's choose Mayano Top Gun. You have your legacies. And if you've just started, you probably don't have very good legacies. That just comes with starting and being new. One of the nice things, though, is that you can borrow legacies from other people. And these legacies can really shore up your defenses, give you a huge stat boost at the beginning, give you skills. Legacies can do a lot. So, let's say, for example, Mayano Top Gun had long races, but she didn't have an A in long. Let's say she had a B. You can use a long spark to get the to boost your long aptitude up to an A or even an S. So, if I were to choose to play with this this legacy, I would get plus 24 speed at the start, plus 12 wit. I would gain access to these skills. Well, not these skills, but I can gain, through inspiration, access to these skills. Some of these are very good, like Tail Held High, Corner Adept, Straightaway Adept. These are all relatively good. She gives out 2 front runner passives, which is good for Mayano Top Gun because she can be played as a front runner. If you want to get a more detailed look at it, you can click on it and hold it and look at her inspiration. So as you can see, straightaway adept, front runner, straightaway, corner adept, fast paced, tail held high. These are 2 stars. They're more likely to proc. And from her legacy origins, we have Mayano Top Gun, giving straightaway adept. She can also give a pace chaser spark. Tail held high, prepare to pass, deep breaths, Kikasho. So these, the sparks that are associated with different racetracks, you can click on them to see exactly what they would do. A spark that increases stamina and gives a skill hint for Kyoto race course. We also have a chance of getting Tokai Teo's unique ability, Sky High Teo Step. So all of that's pretty alright. Her affinity is not great. Affinity is the chance that these skill hints will proc. So you want a higher affinity so things are more likely to proc. So let's go with Sort Mine. I have 2 3-star sparks, which I will probably end up using for this. So I have Madakena Fuka Kitaru, who gives a big stamina bonus. I can get a hint for focus, which is a very good skill. Frenzied Late Surger is less good, but it's alright. And then we'll use my Tokai Teo, and you see that gets my affinity up to a circle. The highest level is a circle within a circle, but I probably won't be able to get that with what I have here. But if I bring this Tokai Teo, I'll get a skill hint to Sky High Teo Step, Standard Distance, which can be very good for medium races, and Shrewd Step, which is for pace chasers. These are fine bonuses. Not really what we're looking for. Most of these, except for Focus and Standard Distance, aren't going to be super helpful for a front-running Mayano Top Gun strategy. But the big extra 50 to our stamina and 33 to our speed, that's going to help a lot at the beginning. And like I said, you can find people online with your guests that have all sorts of 3-star speed sparks. I believe this one, no, it was this one, has 3 speed sparks. So if I really wanted a speed boost, I might take this. But as it stands, we're going to bring my Tokai Teo. And on the side right here, we can see all of our sparks and exactly what they do. So you don't need to go in and look at it manually. Alright. So, what support cards should you bring? And again, that depends on, you know, what length of races you're racing and what style you're planning on training them in. So, let's just make a new deck here. And we'll start with the thing that you should probably start with every time. And that is Max Limit Break SSR Kitasan Black. This is the best speed card in the game. It gives pretty good skills for the most part. Has some okay events, especially this Professor of Curvature event. Will almost always be useful. Corner recovery is good, corner adept is good, straightaway recovery is alright, focus is good, long corners is good in longs, front runner straightaways is good on front runners, extra tank can help with longs, especially if you didn't make the stamina requirement. It can be a good fallback plan. Dodging danger is mediocre, but it can help. So most of her skills are pretty good. But most importantly, we have her support effects. She is an excellent stat stick. And all of this probably doesn't mean much to you. But I will try and explain what most of these do. So, the first thing we'll look at is her unique perk, which is having her at level 30 gives you this unique perk. And it doesn't tell you exactly how much it is, but in doing so, it increases the training effectiveness and the specialty priority. So what does that mean? So training effectiveness is just that, how effective it is when you are training with this friend. Specialty priority is how likely they will be on their on the type of training that they're associated with. So in this case, Kitasan Black is a speed card, which means that with a higher specialty priority, she is more likely to be in the speed category and is more likely to be able to friendship train. That's when the card turns rainbowy, when you have above a certain threshold of friendship. So friendship bonus, that increases the effectiveness of friendship training. Like I said, that rainbowy bit. Mood effect amplifies the effective mood when training together. So mood does more than just affect your races. It affects how effective training is. Mood effect amplifies that further. But this can be a double-edged sword. So if you're in a good mood, it makes training more effective. When you're in a bad mood, it makes training less effective. And mood effect multiplies it both ways. So be cautious of that. You should always try and be in a good or great mood as best as you can. Sometimes that's not an option, but be aware that mood effect can cut both ways. Power bonus, that one's pretty self-explanatory. Increases power when trained together. Training effectiveness increases the effectiveness of training performed together. Initial friendship gauge. So some cards start at 0 friendship. And it makes it really hard to get to the higher levels of friendship where you can start friendship training and where it becomes more and more effective. So having a high initial friendship gauge is important to succeeding and getting these cards leveled up quickly in your run. Race bonus increases the stat gain from races. So whenever you run a race and you get that +3 stats to your end at the end, that can be multiplied by this race bonus. It's a nice bonus to have, not super noteworthy. Fan bonus, increased fan gains from races. Another nice bonus to have, but not super relevant. At least at this level. Hint levels. Increases the level of hints gained through events. So when you get a hint, which is when that exclamation point appears by it, and you click on it, and after the training, you get a hint for something. Hint levels. Having a higher hint level means you're more likely to get a bigger discount on the hint, which is very nice. Hint frequency increases the frequency at which hints occur. This is very good on Kitasan because, like I said, she gives generally pretty good hints. And then specialty priority 80, which is a very high specialty priority. So all of these combine to make a very good card. So find someone with a max limit break Kitasan Black, follow them, and mooch off of their card, because at this point, Kitasan is gone from the banner. You can no longer get Kitasan Black. You can be like me and pull 400 times and not open a single Kitasan. I have 2 Kitasans, but that's from sparking. I don't really want to talk about it. But there are lots of people who have max limit break Kitasan Blacks. There's lots of people to follow. Start borrowing this. This is by far one of the best cards in the game. Alright. Now what? You have your Kitasan Black. but you still need to fill out your cards. And I don't know what cards you have. My cards are probably way better than someone who's just starting. So, what to look out for in good cards, and what cards are generally good, and how to build the deck. So for my Ayano Top Gun, we want her to be very fast, because we're going to build her as a front runner. And we want to stay ahead of everyone. So I think, at least for this build, I'm going to have four speed cards, maybe 3. And then we have to do long races, which means that we need to have a certain threshold of stamina. So I am going to bring 2 stamina cards, at least. But which one should you bring? So we'll start with a card that you should have, which is this Majero McQueen. My Majero McQueen is going to be a little bit better than yours, because I've limit broken it and have leveled it. But you should have access to it by watching the story and playing through the events. And like I said, I'll explain anything that's new on here. All of these are things that you should already know about, because I explained it with the Kita-san. But skills. Stamina to spare is a fine ability for pace chasers. We won't really be using that. Deep breaths, though, and extra tank. These are very helpful to fall back on if you did not make your stamina requirements. Straightaway adept and prepare to pass. Straightaway adept is universally okay. Generally speaking, straightaway skills are worse than corner skills. I'm not going to get into the reasons why, but just as a general rule, you want to prioritize corner skills over straight skills, but straight skills are fine. They will help you win the Ura Finale. Corner adept, very good. Prepare to pass is very good if you're a pace chaser. If you're not, it's not doing anything. Then we look at her career events. Early lead. This is since we're building a front runner, this is a better version of focus. And cooldown. If we are really struggling to make our stamina requirement, this will help a lot for those long races. So, we will be bringing this. So, we have some other choices for stamina cards. If you have a Super Creek, you should bring it. And if you've played at all, you know the reason why. It's for this skill right here, Swinging Maestro. This is the best stamina recovery skill in the game right now. It is very, very good. It is universally good on basically everyone. The problem I have with Swinging Maestro is it doesn't really teach you how to play the game correctly. A lot of people crushed on Swinging Maestro because before Kita-san came out, people would just borrow Super Creeks. So people got used to crutching on Swinging Maestro. It was gone, and then they started losing all of a sudden because they didn't actually know how to get their stamina above those thresholds. But if you have it, it is a very good card to bring. One of the new things on here is the initial stamina. So some SSRs can start you off with a boost to your stamina, or whatever skill they're associated with. So in this case, initial stamina 25. If I were to have this card in my deck, it would give me an extra 25 stamina at the beginning. Nice bonus to have, not really essential. So As good as Super Creek is, we're not going to bring her. Don't need it. One that we will bring, though, Seiyun Sky. Seiyun Sky has some very, very good frontrunner abilities. So, in her career events, where is it? Escape Artist. This is a very, very powerful frontrunner ability that can prevent you from falling behind in the mid-race, which is a place where things can go very wrong for your frontrunners. Puts you into a good position to win. Otherwise, this card is, perfectly serviceable as a SSR support card. So we'll bring these. If you don't have a Seiyun Sky, other good support cards, like I said, are Super Creek. If you have a Satono Diamond, or two, like I managed to pull, you can run Satono Diamond. In this case, we cannot run Mayano Top Gun, but if we were not running Mayano Top Gun, we could run her. And down in your rares, these cards are all perfectly serviceable. Find one that has good skills. And slot it in. Seiyun Sky would be a good example of this, where she gives tail held high, she gives keeping the lead. That could all be very useful for it. Usually these rare versions are lesser versions of the actual thing. So if you wanted to, I would not recommend this, but if you wanted to drop Kitasan Black, and you have a Kitasan Black rare, you can get all the same skills off of Kitasan Black. Alright. What rare SSRs, what speed cards are we going to run? So, if you have Sweep Tosho, which is this rare SSR right here, not SSR, SR, you should run Sweep Tosho. This card is very good. It is very, very similar stat spread to SSR Kitasan. The skills are good, if not situational, based off of what you're doing and how you play. The events can give you a very, very good skill when premeditated mischief. You can get the Lone Wolf skill, which is a very, very powerful skill. But mostly, we use this as a stat stick. So, if you have Sweep Tosho, level her up and put her in. Who else are we going to run? So, this Silence Suzuka card is very, very good if you are raising a front runner. She gives the early lead, which is like the focus. She gives Final Push, which is a very, very good skill. Corners often kill front runners. Front runner corners, very, very good. Leader's Pride is fine. Front runner Savvy helps a little bit, not that much. Most importantly, though, she can give the Unrestrained skill, which is the increased ability to keep the lead on the final corner. Like I was saying, corners kill front runners. If you can keep the lead on the final corner and keep on pushing forward, there's a much higher chance that you are going to win the race. So we will bring Silent Suzuka. And here's our last slot. Now we could run another speed card. Or we could run a wit card or another power card, a power card. In this case, I think that we should run a wit card. And which one? Fine Motion, very good option, but somewhat limited. And I'm already using a bunch of SSRs that you may or may not have. So let's go down into the SRs. So one SSR that you probably have if you've been playing is this one. This is your Nice Nature. The skills don't help all that much. Corner acceleration is a good one though. Ramp up can be a very powerful skill, but less helpful if you're front running. You know what? I might even build her as a pace chaser, but probably not. I already put in the things. Anyways, you probably have access to this Nice Nature wit card. You probably can max limit break it. You can probably level it higher than I can because I am currently broke for support points. But very good card. Level it if you can. So, we have built our deck. Like I said, this could easily be another speed card. This could easily be, say, Nishino Flower. She gives some good skills. Could be Bakushin if you have her. Asian Flash. Ideally, you want it to be a triple threat where it gives you skills that you want along with the stat stick, but that's not always an option. So, Asian Flash, which one is this one? This one is Narita Tashin. These are all good cards that give good skills for end closers and late surgers, but can be used as stat sticks. But like I said, in this case, we are going to play Nice Nature. And we will restore our TP. And we will... And if you want to see all of your perks and skills, you can click that on the bottom and see what exactly you have access to. So, with all of that done, we're going to start this career. And I am going to just shorten all of the events and skip through because I have read all of this already. So how should you start your run? So step one, you want to level these cards as quickly as possible. So in this case, we can level 3 cards. And nothing else gives us a hint, nothing else gives us rainbow training. We can't do that at this point. So in this case, we're going to hit power. Even though ideally we would be hitting speed and stamina, we want to level these cards as quickly as possible. So in this event, all trainees have this kind of event where they can either train more and they'll lose a bit of energy but get more in that stat, or they can rest and get some of their energy back. It depends on which stage of the game it is, if you really need the stat, if you are going to rest anyways, stuff like that. In this case, we're going to rest. Because hopefully this, if we get enough energy events, we can stay out and train for a little bit longer. So we're going to do a quick look around and look at everything. So in this case, I think I'm going to hit speed. It levels Kita-san and Suzuka. It's in the thing that we want. So we're going to hit this. So in this case, if I were to hit power, in this case, it would raise both Kita-san and Nice Nature, which is good. But it gives us power and a little bit of stamina. We want stamina. Power is a very nice stat to have, but not strictly necessary to win. Win just Ura. If I was building this for PvP, I might be a little bit more into it, but we're not building her for PvP. So, there's nothing really that we want to hit here. There's fine options, but nothing that we really want to hit. Our new mood is normal. So we can go on Recreation. And Recreation has a couple of outcomes. If you hit Recreation, and you get the Shrine event, you get anywhere from 10 to 30 energy back. If you get the Karaoke event, it sets your mood 2 up, so instead of it going to good, it would go up to great. And then there's just the River Walk, which gives you 10 stamina and increases your mood. Not stamina, energy. Also, starting in Classic year, you can get the Crane event, but we'll cover that if it comes to that. So we're going to hit Recreation. So the River Walk, mood, we got some energy back. Alright. So support card events. If you're playing the first time, I would recommend, just going in blind and learning what they do. But if you want to find the answers to it, what it does, you can look it up online. Just type in the support card and the name of the event up here, and you can find what the quote-unquote correct answer is. In this case, we're going to agree with Seiyan Sky to get some extra friendship with her and get some energy back. Alright. So in this case, we have the Director. What the Director does is when you train with her, you get a small amount of skill points in addition to the skill points that we're already gaining. And if you max out friendship with her at certain points, good things can happen, especially at the end of the game, where if you maxed out friendship with her, you get a bunch of skill points and a bunch of free stats. Free, quote unquote. So, it's not a whole lot of other good options, so we're going to click speed. So in this case, we're going to agree and say speed is very important because we want the extra speed. Alright, hint. So when they have this little exclamation point next to them, that means that they are giving a hint. And if you want to see what hints are possible, you can click on it and see these skills. Now in this case, she's not really offering us any hints that we really want, but it's an option. Another thing to know about when they give you a hint, you get extra friendship with them. In this case, I think we're going to hit Wit. So Wit is unique among the training in that if you fail, you don't go to the infirmary. If you fail, whenever you do it, it restores energy instead of drains it. And it gives bonuses to your wit, and it gives you extra skill points. In this case, we care a little bit more about raising our friendship, but there's not a whole lot of other good options. And it allows us to basically scan for good options longer instead of hitting one of these more mediocre ones. So in this case, we're going to get our mood set to great and get a bunch of some stats and some friendship. So we are now great, and our training should be more effective. In this case, I'm going to hit stamina. Gets friendship with 3 people. We want more stamina for those longer races later. It's all good. So for this event, we're going to check I'm a Youngin 2 to get some energy and some wit. Alright, so in this case, we get to level 3, so we're gonna hit that. And we'll do it again. At this point, we just want to level our friendship as quickly as we can for all of our things so we can make training more effective in the future. This one's a little bit of a tough one. I think I'm gonna hit the stamina to try and get Silence Suzuka closer to her threshold. So she leveled up. Alright. So here's an example of a hint that we might actually want to get. Because most of these hints are pretty good for us. It's for a... So we're going to hit this. Hopefully it's something new for us. Frontrunner Savvy's alright. It's not great, but... it's fine. So in that case, our wit training leveled up. So now when we click wit in the future, it'll be more effective. So in this case, I'm thinking stamina. Get more friendship. I'm gonna do the run hurry event to get the bonus to the speed. Alright. So this is our debut race. It's generally difficult to lose your debut race unless you're Haru or like King Halo. So, not a huge deal. We're gonna keep her on front runner. And we can watch the race, but I'm just gonna view the results. As you can see, we won. So Mayano Top Gun has a... We're going to tell her to eat her veggies so we can get the next part of this. But Mayano Top Gun is similar to Haru, where her first goal is just to hit a fan threshold. So something you may or may not know is you can set up races in advance by a significant margin. So I already know what race that I want to run her in, which is the Hopeful Stakes, because if we win the Hopeful Stakes, we probably get all of the fans that we need already. So this is the first G1 race. It can be kind of difficult to win if you're not preparing, but we will be preparing. So we're going to schedule. So you can only schedule one race in advance, but if you're achievement hunting or if there's a specific G1, G1s give the best rewards. G1s can give those white sparks that you saw for some of them. You can schedule them in advance. In this case, like I said, 3. So we'll hit that. So in this case, this is a decision to make. So you can either hit all come with, which will reduce your thing by 5 and make it so that you will need to rest next turn, but I might have been considering resting already. Or resting is as important as training, which will raise it by 5 and might put us on the threshold of actually getting something. In this case, since it's power, I'm going to say resting is as important as training, just to see if I can stay out for a little bit longer. So in this case, I'm going to hit wit to A, get us a little bit closer to not having 18, 16%. These are things that you should click on. It depends, but you shouldn't feel too uncomfortable clicking on. But none of these are super, super good that I feel the need to click on. And leveling 2 of these is fine. Getting extra wit and skill points, fine. Getting a little extra speed, also fine. Get some extra stats here. So now the failure rate is only 7% or 8%. So in this case, I'm going to hit stamina and then rest next turn. You should try and rest as little as possible because resting is where bad things happen. So we're going to hit rest and hope that she rests good. But resting can end up putting you in the infirmary with the night owl. Can not recover a lot. So there's always a gamble hitting rest. It's about, I think it's like a 10% chance of getting the night owl. So she got the bad recovery. So I haven't actually seen this event. So in this case, I don't actually know which these do, but Boundless Energy, that sounds like it could either give me stamina or energy. Unwavering Confidence might give you power, if I had to guess. So I'm going to try Boundless Energy and hope that it gives me energy. But if it gives me stamina, I'll feel good. Guts. I should have known. So Guts is mostly a dump stat. So in the future, I will instead hit the other option when I get this event. Alright. Sweep Tosho hints. Fine. I think in this case I'm going to hit it just because I want to get to Rainbow Training with Kita-san. Rainbow Training with Sweep Tosho. Trick Rear doesn't really help us at all. Well, in this case, again, hit Wit. Front Runner Straightaway. That's a pretty good hint for us. Escape Artist is an excellent one. Let's continue leveling our cards. In this case, we need more speed anyways. And this will probably get Silence Suzuka to be able to Rainbow Train. It might even get Saiyan Sky able to Rainbow Train. Yep. So here's where you need to answer the question on how risk averse are you. So 26%. That is a 1 in 4 chance that things go wrong. You need to weigh your options against, other things. So in this case, I would get a hint with one of these. I would get a little bit extra speed, plus 3 to my speed. So it would be 29 speed, 16 power. And probably finish out friendship with Kita-san. Get some more with Silence. Silence Suzuka. It's all good. But this is... And it's early in the run. You can still recover from it. But if you just want to win the Ura Finale, 29 speed I don't think is worth it. So I'm going to rest here. So we will be hitting this. Get us closer to the stamina thresholds that we need for those long races in the future. So in this case, you can click on the predictions. Our stamina is excellent. Our speed is fine. Our power is fine. Our guts is fine. And our wit is really good. So in order to win the hopeful stakes, I don't think that's enough to win the hopeful stakes, especially front running. However, we might be able to offset that with some of our skills. In this case, I think I'm going to take 2 of front runner straight away and try it anyways. Because if we win this race, we do not need to worry about our fan at all. For basically the rest of the run. So we're going to keep her as a front runner. We have the skills. We have a lot of stamina. Our speed's not super great, but hopefully she's able to take it. We'll just view results. So second. If we had more speed, we would have probably won that. So maybe I should have hit the speed button that one time. That being said, second is not bad. We get a lot of fans. We get some skill points. So whenever you get the New Year's events, shopping, there's one that's for food, one for skill points, and one for stats. In this case, our energy is getting a little bit low, so let's get food. So we need to now schedule another race because we did not take it. $2,000 fans, that's not worth it. So we have a G2 here. We could probably win the G2. So I'm going to schedule that. That is how many turns in the future? 4 turns? Let's try and get some more speed while we do it. So. Tempting. But again, we're going to play this nice and conservative. You don't want to throw the run. Alright, it's just letting us know that we have not hit the fan goal. We might want to focus on that. But we already scheduled our race. It would be nice to hit the stamina, but we need more speed. Let's see what... Let's look at the races. There is another G1. And I think we might be able to take that. So. in this case, we're going to hit the stamina, hope that we don't get the 1% failure. And in this case, we're going to come with because we want the extra stamina, and also we're going to have to rest regardless because when we do the race, it's going to reduce our energy even harder. So, Inspiration Event. This will also help us win our next race. Get a bunch of stamina, speed, Kikashou, show. Alright, let's do this scheduled race. And I think that we're going to take this. Our speed is really good. Our stamina is excellent at this point. 5th? So, our skills were not good enough. According to Zuna, but she's a liar. It looks like everything got pretty jammed at the front. Neck, half a length, neck, head. Everything was pretty close at the end there. So, that being said, it might be it was not enough. So we're going to take You Should Be Honest and Apologize, because this one gives us some speed and some wit and an ability we're not going to use. This will tank our mood a little bit, but it'll give us one of the best skills in the game, Lone Wolf. And we are going to grab this immediately, because I don't think that there's any other way that we're going to get skill hints for it. And it should help us win the next races. So you can do up to 2 races in a row without experiencing mood penalties. We're going to do this one just because it's longer, so our stamina will come in more handy, and it's slightly more fun. And finally we win. So we're going to work on speed because we want more speed. And in this case, we just need to rest. Ooh, there's good look. That would be super nice to hit, but obviously 99% chance failure. Not exactly safe. So we're going to tell her to focus on our stamina and guts. In this case, we're going to take wit. Alright, Summer Vacation. Summer Vacation is a way to get a lot of skills very, very quickly. Well, not skills, stats very, very quickly. And we'll probably use it to offset our speed a little bit, because it's not bad, but it's a little bit lower than I'd like it to be. So in this case, we're going to take this power training and then rest the next turn so that we have as much energy for Summer Vacation. Long corners will help for our long races if we need it. So alright. And in this case, like I said, get a whole bunch of speed. So we got to prepare for the Kikashou. And we will hit speed again. In this case, we're going to hit wit. So 25 speed, or more wit. And I think that we want the... So we'll max out Friendship with Sweep Tosho. We'll get a hint. But I think that this speed, even though there's a chance of failure, it will be a little bit more helpful. So, in this case, this gives a little bit of energy back and a mood bonus. We're already at our max mood, and the energy will not get us to a place where we can safely train again. So, I'm going to get the straightaway adept off of that. And we're going to rest here. Hopefully, not getting Night Owl. There we go. Just hit speed. I'm feeling a lot better about our speed at this point. So, let's get some more stamina. Alright, so let's look at the predictions. So, this is the Kikekau Show. It is a very long race. As you can see, 3,000 meters. Our stamina is fine, but we could use a little bit more. So let's see if we can offset that with anything. So if you're trying to build for PvP, ideally you want to save as much as you can. But we're just trying to win the Ura Finale. So I'm going to take straightaway recovery. It is not as good as the corner recoveries, but it's fine, and it should boost our stamina a little bit, because we only need to take third. Ideally we take first. I think that there's a chance that we do, but let's take it. And we will just view results. Second. And we were pretty close to first. I think if we had a little bit more stamina, we probably would have taken it, or a little bit more speed. But as you can see, third place, we took it by 8 lengths. So, very close. So our next goal, I believe, is Arima Keenan, and we should have enough stamina for Arima Keenan. So let's focus on getting our speed up to snuff. That being said, it's a lot of stamina, and we will need the stamina in the future. So I'm actually going to hit this. So in this case, we're going to need to rest. Sometimes the game just doesn't give you good options for what you want to be hitting. Like I said, we can still use more stamina. Ideally for the Tenno Sho, we have about 600 to 800 stamina. So, might as well get it done now. Not feeling super great about our speed right now, so I'm actually going to take a straightaway add up to try and win this. We don't need to win this, but I want to win. Yeah. Everything has been so close for the most part. But we're doing good. We're doing good. We got past the Arima Keenan. We're in a pretty good spot for Tenno Sho Spring. more energy here. So, for this event, I might consider hitting Wit. Just because, to get more energy. Except for the fact that always after this is the raffle event. And the raffle event can give you 20 energy. It usually gives you at least 20 energy. Sometimes it gives you tissues, but in this case, you know, I think that we want to get it below the threshold so that we get the full 20 energy back for most of the encounters. And in this case, I guess we hit stamina more. Hopefully we get some more speed in the future. Raffle, there we go. And we get our mood set to great, get some stats. Come on, speed. Alright. Super nice to hit. We need more speed though. So, in that event, yeah, it's because we keep on losing by heads and noses and, you know, necks. The Valentine event is where your skill gets upgraded. You do not need your skill upgraded to win, but if you are above a certain threshold of fans, you will have your skill upgraded. It is not a random case. And since we haven't taken first in anything except for the 1G2 that we ran that was optional, we didn't have enough fans to make the threshold. Sucks, but not a run killer. In this case, I'm going to say I'll come with because we're getting to the point where we're going to need to rest anyways, and I want the extra speed. This should get us over the speed limit to get to Beast plus Beast speed, not B plus. In this case, I think we probably win. This is another very long race though. There we go. Won by 8 lengths. Inspiration event should get us over our 600 stamina requirement for the next one. That Fan Fest right there is another chance for your thing to get upgraded, but we didn't have the threshold. We're going to hit stamina here just to make sure that we have enough stamina for the event. And we should not need stamina for the rest of the run. Hopefully for the rest of the run we can just hit speed. If you want to build for PvP, you can get more stamina. I might even take Breath of Fresh Air there. But in this case we're going to take Final Push to try and stay ahead of the curve. And we took it. Only by 2.5 lengths, but that's actually a decent amount. We have beaten the stamina threshold for Kikaxiao. Do not need more stamina for the most part. At this point, we're going to turbo level speed as best as we can. Be super nice to hit. 36% chance of failure. I'm just going to rest here. Like I said, this is not a guide to build the best Mayano Top Gun. If I was trying to build the best Mayano Top Gun, I probably would have hit there. This is just to win Ura Finale. So, summer camp again. So we're gonna do the same thing we did last time. I forgot that there was a race here that we should easily win. So, if I was playing correctly, not paying attention there, I probably should have rested there, but it'll be fine. Like I said, easily win there. Now in this case, I am going to risk it. 29% for 58 speed is very good. And I think that we can recover from a injury here. And it pays off. So we're gonna rest in recreation here. Just hit wit. It's not good options. Just hit speed to try and get our friendship with the reporter up. Alright, Professor of Curvature. I will take a 17% risk. Pays off. So a lot of girls have this event where you can get two things, where there's the safe one, which is usually the top one, which restores a little bit of energy, and then there's the bottom one, where they eat a bunch, and 9 times out of 10 they're fine, but sometimes 1 in 10 you get slow metabolism, your mood goes down. In this case, I'm going to take the risk, and pays off. So we're going to take Unrestrained to keep our ability to keep the lead in the final corner. We should easily win this. Eight lengths. Alright, I am not worried about the Arima Keenan. I'm gonna hit Wit here. Hope that some rainbow training happens. We'll max out friendship with the director, actually. Just no good options. I'm actually just going to do a recreation here. skill upgrade. So the last skill upgrade is right before the Ura Finale, which is right before the Ura Finale. So I don't think that we need to take anything to win the Ura Finale here. Could take long corners if we really felt uncomfortable, but I think we're going to win the Ura Finale by a decent amount. Predictions. Well, Tizuna doesn't know anything. Listen to me instead of Tizuna. And what do you know? Tizuna didn't know anything. So we're going to be entered into the medium Ura Finale. So if you don't know, the Ura Finale that you participate in is based off of how many of each race that you did throughout the run. We did more medium races than long races, so we will be in the medium. Means that we need a little bit more speed, hopefully. And hopefully we get it here. And you ask and you will receive. See if there's any skills that help us out here for this last little bit. Since we're just trying to win the Ura Finale, none of these really help us that much. We'll try and grab Professor of Curvature for the end. Corner Adept Professor of Curvature. So let's just do this race. Boom. Only by one length though, which is not that much. So we need more speed. We also need more wit. So wit helps with our skill procs. So I'm actually going to do this one and hold out for the last training to be better. So we will grab... Where was it? Corner Adept here. Five lengths is more like it. Not very good options. We can't get the last Professor of Curvature. If we were... It's prediction. Say we're outclassed here. If we wanted to, we could grab Long Shot. That's a huge skill boost when we're outclassed. And since we're just trying to win the Ura Finale, I'm going to grab it. But I don't think that this is strictly necessary. Like I said, if I was building this for PvP or for anything other than just this video, I'd have played a lot differently, but this is just so that you win Ura Finale. And we will watch the last race. We'll actually get to see how our Mayana Top Gun fares. I think by buying that skill, though, it turned it off, unfortunately.
芝2000 URA ファイナルズ決勝18人の馬娘たちが挑みます。さあ1番人気の紹介です。成田ブライアン実力は負けていません。2番人気
No, we're still number 7.
注目のグランプリ馬娘マヤのトップが4枠8番での出走。
気合十分いい顔してますね。
ゲートイン完了。出走の準備が整いました。
So Lone Wolf, long shot. He should be able to keep the lead for this entire race. Hopefully. Straight away Ada.
花を奪っていったのはマヤのトップガン。続きました7番1コーナーから2コーナーへ向かう。先頭はマヤのトップガン。単身で飛ばして行きます。続いて7番早くも激しい競り合い。その後3、4馬身開いて AM オペラを外には東海帝王。
So we have a decent lead, but it's very early.
内の方から5番13番。
That being said, we should have enough stamina to stay ahead of everyone for the entirety of this race. She should be able to fight back. Yeah.
向こう上面に入って先頭からしんがりまでおよそ10馬身。順位を振り返っていきます。現在1番手はマヤのトップガン。1馬身差7番3番手東海帝王。4番手にはテイエムオペラ王。10番5番手外目をついて5番。
So we're gonna enter the final spurt straight away. Recovery is very helpful. Hopefully we get our skill that procs on the last corner.
内から2番すぐに続いてハッピーミーク。内を回ります。ジンボリルドルフ。外から6番その内並んで1番第4コーナーを進んで直線へ向かう。
馬娘たちがどう動くか目が離せません。
先頭は見合ったまま。このまま直線での争い
We should, yep, there's unrestrained. And we should just pull away with the race for the most part. I don't think anyone can catch up at this point. And there we go. Easy Ura Finale. So yes, the Ura Finale is not actually that difficult to win if you A, know what you're doing, B, build your Uma correctly. We'll get all of our stats at the end here. And then at the end here, we can buy whatever stats that we want. Hopefully something that we can pass on to children in the future, because we don't know what's useful. So I'm gonna take Professor of Curvature here. Kyoto is very useful for the legend race that's coming up, so we're gonna actually buy Kyoto. So think that there's any actually buy Leader's Pride and Long Quarters. Hopefully we can use this to pass on to other front runners in the future, maybe Bakushin, maybe otherwise. Let's see what we got. B+ rank. Pretty alright. Good sparks? Of course not. Alright. Lone Wolf spark's pretty good, actually. So, not a super good run. We didn't sweep everything. We didn't get absolutely dominant results, but pretty easy Ura Finale win. It is not super difficult to win Ura Finale. You just need to know what to do, what to prioritize, what to care about. hopefully this video has helped you a little bit to know how to play Uma Musume and actually clear the Ura Finale.